There's a lot going on below the surface of the water here.
155, fish 180.
There's a lot of life and there's a lot of function right here, right in front of the lab.
179.
This is representative of the nursery function of the Chesapeake Bay. And so many fishes that we care about, striped bass and crabs and bluefish, croaker, spot, white perch, they begin their lives here.
Thanks.
Seining is called an active fishing process where we're actually trying to encircle a group of fish with that net. That makes it kind of fun.
We all are out there, every week. We count and measure all of the fish that we catch in the net.
60. Good amount of bluefish.
The long-term seine survey gives us an idea of how the fish assemblage here at the mouth of the Patuxent River changes over time. We also have environmental data for this site. So in terms of climate change, if we see warming water temperatures, what does that mean for the species? And because we have this long data set, we can look at these trends over a long period of time.
This year, the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science and Chesapeake Biological Lab are celebrating their 90th year, which makes it one of the oldest laboratories in the nation. This pier is 70 years old, and for most of that time, scientists have been walking down its full 700-foot length and measuring temperature and salinity. We've observed a 3-degree Fahrenheit warming trend here. It sounds like it's a very gradual process that we can adapt to, and what we may see is more likely a more abrupt change. Estuaries have a lot of ability to absorb change, but if we push too hard, they may become something else. We expect some of the species that we see in the Carolinas, for instance, to make a foothold here, but we will also retain a lot of the character of the Chesapeake, and what we'll end up with is some combination, a novel ecosystem, if you will. This year is a wet year, and we're seeing the species that we typically see in a wet year, white perch and striped bass and needlefish. But we're also seeing bluefish. We don't typically see bluefish in wet years. That could be a harbinger for some larger change that we're facing as we begin to move into a warmer climate regime.
94.
This lab, this pier, is really a critical observatory in terms of continuing to look at climate trends in the Chesapeake Bay. Science operates by serendipity, and the scientists who started taking measures at this pier just felt that they needed to begin to understand something about where they were working, where they were living. They had no idea that that would lead to a record that would give us very definitive evidence for Chesapeake Bay warming. Similarly, the work that we do, the data we collect, we may just be scratching the surface.